Welcome one and all to my channel. Please subscribe if you wish to subscribe. More subscribers I got, the better it is. Up to 1 million subscribers, I will do a viral TikTok or whatever viral social media trend, live streamed, of course. 10 million poll vote, basically at a location, same dance or whatever dance, live stream, but at a location of by poll. Please dislike the video. Please comment on the video if you want to. I leave it up. I would love some feedback if there is some feedback from you guys. Yeah, I do read my comments and try to answer them as best of my abilities when I have the time and when I'm notified. If there are questions left on there specifically, and it would be great if you could leave some feedback as well too. Anyways, I'm just going to talk about a little bit more about the George Santos things and like some of the lies. Basically, I think I was in my prior video discussed it, like some of the stuff he did. This one is going to be fact checked, but fact checked against the New York Times. I'm going to be using the New York Times as my reference, basically. For those that are, I don't want to say don't have much time to read the New York Times at this point. So, of course, one of the big lies that he said was basically he said he worked for both Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. And he was, like he was an associate asset manager at Goldman Sachs, which is both claimed false. Basically, they even said straight up, Citigroup and Goldman Sachs says like he did not work for them. He was employed by a company called Linkbridge, which had connections to fund managers with investors specifically into Goldman Sachs and Citigroup. Santos said he graduated from Baruch College as well as NYU. He didn't graduate from any of them. Basically, he is a college dropout. Maybe a college dropout. I don't know if he said he did go to those colleges. I think it's more of a case like he did not graduate. Probably, and he says he embellished on it, but who knows? I mean, not who knows. He embellished, not an embellishment, flat out lie, basically. He says he is not Jewish, even though he's on camera, specifically to the what's it called, the Jewish Republican Jewish community. I forgot the name of the group. Sorry. Saying that he was Jewish, even though now he's saying, well, no. I meant to say I was Jew, quote unquote Jew dash ish, meaning he was sort of like an ish person, basically. Essentially saying that basically like yes, his maternal grandparents uh, uh, well, yeah, his grandparents. I'm not sure which grandparents exactly were both the Jews, even though he says he's Catholic and he's an observant Catholic. Um, because I mean, they were refugees to Brazil during the Holocaust era, and they came into Brazil and basically and such. And he says he's grown up with that story. In reality, no, you know or you don't know, honestly. I mean, doing a 23andMe or Ancestry.com, they said nope, not that. He also said that he is gay. I mean, he claims he's gay. He may get, I'm not sure if he is. Chances are most likely is. Who cares? But he says he's claimed to have lost 4 employees at the 2016 shooting at the Pulse Gay Club in Orlando back in 2016, of course. The New York Times themselves says they can't find any evidence. Then, like on a radio interview for WABC, he said basically that those quote unquote 4 employees didn't actually work for his Florida company. They were in the process of being hired. It's a little tricky, basically. It's more of a case where, like, were they in the process of being hired or were they just being interviewed? And then he claimed that in that situation. And now the biggest one, of course, like he denies committing any crimes, even though in Brazil they have it in there where basically they basically charged him with writing checks with a stolen checkbook, and he's saying that he's not a criminal here in the U.S. or in Brazil. And the thing is like Brazil has said straightforward, I guess he was charged. He was nowhere to be found. Honestly, I don't know if there's an extradition thing at that point. I mean, honestly, if I don't know what the statute of limitation is in Brazil, but if he did flee the country, I mean, they have a shot to extradite him basically at that point, whatever it may be. He said that him and his family owns 13 properties, and that he was a landlord with those tenants that were basically withholding rent. Kind of like the whole COVID situation, all that stuff. In reality, he said this past Monday, basically the day after Christmas, that he does not own the property himself. It's his family basically. And then there's the biggest one, of course, which is he has unpaid debts unpaid debts to landlords and creditors, and somehow he lent $700,000 to his campaign. So that's the biggest question comes down to is the $700,000. Where did it come from to loan to his congressional campaign? If that shows that this money was obtained legally, that is election, violates the election campaign reform act or such, whatever it is, and he does violate some federal laws at that point. So it's a matter of now people trying to find out, is this true or not? Did he violate it or such? I think they're going to try to look further into it, as far as where the money came from. If my best bet is possibly someone that was bankrolling him, did it really well to hide the $700,000 that they're not going to be able to trace it back. The real question is, who is the man behind? Who is the puppet master behind the puppeteer? I have a feeling Santos is not the ringleader of this. He's definitely got some skeletons in his closets, and he's definitely got there's more than meets the eye. Basically, I have a feeling there's someone else that's pretty much behind him that's driving all this. Find that person, and you find a hell of a lot more at that point as well too. I think there's a lot more to this story than more than meets the eye, basically, and I think that's what it comes down to. But in that situation, like I said, if I've given a summary highlight of what the Times has said, basically. Honestly, it's a matter of basically. You guys looking at it and finding out, whether it's true or not. I mean, most likely, most of them are true, basically. Santos basically even dismisses some of these allegations, saying, "Oh no, this is not true," or it was true, or it's like, okay, yeah, you know what, I've embellished, trying to play it off as it was nothing, even though he really flat out lied. So it's more of a case where it's a case now comes down to is how trustworthy is this man? And I have a feeling this man definitely is not trustworthy in this aspect. The question comes down to it is, should we look at his 2020 election and see what he said there too? There's a possibility that he lied quite a number of things over there at that point as well too. So let's wait and see what happens. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more that's going to come out as a result of this. Chances are what happens is, I think this should happen I have a feeling what's going to happen is after he's sworn in to his office, sworn into his seat, basically, it comes down to the Democrats are probably going to come after him, look into it, find, of course, there's fraud, and surprisingly, the Republican Party is actually saying, the GOP conservatorship is basically saying, let's look into him, basically, for impropriety and all that stuff, for the ethical committee for that matter, at least. I think they want to do this beforehand, before he becomes elected, because if he becomes elected, I'm not sure exactly how this works, where if there is some impropriety or in some aspects of him breaking the law, while as a congressman, if you go and you get kicked out, does the governor also select that congressional person, a congressional representative at that point? If it's true, then I forgot her name, Governor Herschel, New York governor. Sorry, I got to look this up a little bit. Hochul will. I don't know if she's allowed to. It's a possibility. I don't know exactly. I mean, if someone knows, please let me know. I mean, I could look it up. I didn't really look it up in this point. I mean, you know what? I'm not going to look it up. I'll leave it up to you guys to look it up, to be honest. But if that's the case, I have a feeling that's what the Democrats are doing. I think they're just going to wait for him to get sworn in and then look into it and then kick him out. Same thing with what happened with Anthony Weiner, basically. I think when the Republicans caught Anthony Weiner and he was forced to leave, they're going to probably do the exact same thing, reverse it to George Santos, basically, and make the Republicans look really bad to the point of, like, they're going to use this even more so in the 2024 election and show, like, hey, look, the Republicans, they supported a guy, they refused to do whatever it is. We had no choice but to boom at that point. So we'll see what happens there. Let me know what you guys think. Please leave any comments about this or any questions. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability about it. But with that, I'll leave it off with that. Unfiltered, unedited, and unrehearsed. Until next time.